10. That was Gatorade, yeah, it was. And this is one of my vitamins. It, someone at the funeral of indeterminate gender said that they used to live with Duro Peña. They were roommates. And they told a story about how one time they were under the mistaken impression that Duro Peña was wearing the same boxers every day. Because it looked as if he was wearing the same boxers every day. But then Duro Peña, he was very offended. He said, I just bought like 20 identical looking boxer briefs. They look identical, but they're not actually identical. That's what he said. And the they then was very apologetic. Oh, whoops. Because they genuinely and literally believed that he was wearing the same boxer briefs every day. It was very rude. But it was a hilarious story to hear at a funeral. And another person, also of indistinguishable gender, said that Duro Peña is totally transphobic because he's bisexual. But someone else vouched for him and said, didn't he used to date a person who was a woman with a Y chromosome, and therefore he's not transphobic? And there were a lot of stories that were very wholesome. But after a while, I thought, this is the most depressing funeral I have ever witnessed in my life. And then I told everyone, from now on, we will not argue about whether or not Duro Peña was half gay. We already know he was pansexual. That's why most of his roommates were they-thems. And the most of them were offended if you asked them whether or not they had a Y chromosome. It's none of your business. That person is being a blob, and they are totally a blob ghost. And Duro Peña, we decided to dress up for Halloween. He bleached his hair. He wanted it to look snowy white. He didn't succeed. It just sort of looked yellow. He was very disappointed. And then he decided, you know what, forget about Danny Phantom. I'm Naruto. And he put like some whiskers on his face with Sharpie. And he was all, he was doing that Naruto run. He was determined to be Naruto. Anyway, he's dead now. He's gone. That's it. Go ahead and mourn his loss. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it over? Yada yada. And the show is over. The show cannot go on without Duro Peña. The Duro Peña show, it's over. Because he totally died off camera. In a car accident. Anyone believes. Rest in peace, Duro Peña. He was agnostic, so he's probably in hell. But I bet he's having a good time, even down there. He's a hedonist. Once the funeral was finally over, I went to the after party. And I said, we ought to drink in honor. Who is the Florida man? The Florida man? The Florida man. Who is the Florida man? Well, his name is Randy Fine. How do you do? My name is Peridot. My name is motherfucking Jesus Christ. My new name ain't Velma, cause I will not play nice, nice, nice. How do you do? My name is Malachi. My name is John the Goddamn Baptist. My new name is Gustavo Gus the Atheist. Look, I thought it was hilarious that my friend Gustavo got into a relationship with my other friend John. And John said, I'm a Baptist. And me and Gustavo, we laughed at him. You're a Baptist? Bro, you're gay. That's like saying you're totally a goth chick who's also conservative. That's like saying you're totally a trad wife, but you're also voting. Wait, what? And he was being literal. He was literally being a Baptist because some of the churches claim that we're allowed to be gays for Trump. Gays for God. As long as we get married and adopt children and lay off the weed and avoid the wine and remove tattoos, remove your they're basically trying really hard. We're just like those straight people, except we're gay. And that's why he was a Baptist, and that's why I call him John the Baptist. If I'm talking about John the Baptist, I'm talking about Gustavo's husband. If I'm talking about Gus, I'm talking about Gustavo. And this is a work of fiction. Once upon a time, there was a Roman Egyptian god, and then you will slide into my DMs like a nefarious cockroach, and you will say, hey, beautiful, want to live stream with me tonight? As if you actually expect me to say yes. I thought this was hilarious. So I said, why would I do a silly thing like that? And then he said, you think it's silly? And then I said, there seems to have been a misunderstanding. Usted, you mistook me for a moron? He did not reply. But I imagine he just saw 2 seconds of me sort of seductively seducing him. It's so all on me. And that is why he really believed that I would love to join his live stream tonight. I looked at his profile. It was mostly photos with text saying stupid shit like, if your homie runs towards other people to solve his problems instead of running towards God, he's a poser. And I was all, wow, this dumbass is a Christian. I love those imbeciles. You know what? I will live stream with you, random citizen. If you or a loved one would love to invite me to your live stream, I will obviously immediately say yes. I'm available 3 months from now. 3 months from now, I will schedule you into my 9 p.m. And I would not hesitate to smile while you suffocate and die. And that would be just fine. And what a lovely sight that it would surely be. So bite your tongue and choke yourself to sleep. MAGA's agenda. Tell me, can you hear the propaganda? 128 Democrats don't want to impeach. Well, welcome to a new kind of quotation all across the immigrant nation. I'm totally walking a lonely road. What? I walk an empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams. And I'm the only one. Because a wise man named Isaiah Kuhn once said, he joined a band called I Shine. And I Shine is my favorite. Most people have scrolled away by now. I'm being a theater kid. Mona Lisa, you're guaranteed to run this town. Mona Lisa, we paid to see you frown. And you're obviously Mona Lisa herself. Yeah, you are. Therefore, the both of us are walking a lonely road together. And you are my shadow, the only one that walks beside me. Because you're totally my fraternal twin. Don't read between the lines. What's fucked up? Everything's all right. And I am a vampire that is exclusively drinking blood. Your blood. Yeah, you. I stole your blood while you were sleeping. Like Sandra Bullock. Neil Patrick Harris. He was all, he was Dr. Horrible, and he was being horrible, and he said, da-na-da-na-na, da-da-da-da. Well, I don't actually remember the lyrics. He was all, you're gonna die. It's a brand new day, because it's totally a brand new day. And Alex Day, I think he did something that was controversial, but I had not heard about it, so I was still listening to his music. And I was all, I am joy. That's why my hair is blue. Wasn't her hair blue? So I was all, good morning, sunshine. I'm glad you're still here. You should know sunshine. I'm glad I'm still here. If the darkness came tomorrow, would you keep me in your heart? When we rise and when we wallow in sadness. Because look, this one goes out to sadness. Rhett and Link, they invented nerds versus geeks. And one of them, he was all you need to be a geek is an obsession. Are you obsessed with trains? You're totally into sea animals of all kinds, especially the jellyfish. Are you collecting really niche China dolls in classical kimonos? And the other geek is not intelligent, but she is collecting quarters that are special for reasons that she will tell us all about, and we will pay attention while she tells us about the historical significance of a coin that is really old, and the machine made a mistake one time. The machine made a mistake one time. And that other geek, he is a dude bro that is emotionally invested in anime and American cartoons like Invincible and the cartoon version of Spider-Man, the cartoon version of Batman, where he's wearing that skin-tight suit that includes a face mask that he sort of looked like Spider-Man, except he had these red wings that were attached to his suit. He would lift up his arm and the red wing would spread out. It was a cartoon. My brother was watching it. I was not watching it with him. I told him that he was lame, and I'm never gonna watch this cartoon with you. No, I'm not. I'm not even paying attention, bro. And that geek is also rewatching Danny Phantom and Iron Man Armored Adventures. He's obviously a pea-brain Peabody that actually read the Umbrella Academy comic book as soon as Gerard Way let everyone on MySpace know that he is doing a comic book with Dark Horse Publishing House. I don't even know them. And he's a pea-brain Peabody like Leonard Peabody. That's why I call him Odin One-Eye Allfather the Monocle. Long ago, all of the nations were totally living in harmony. But everything changed when, there was a whole revolution. You are allowed to be fat. I think is what they said. They were all, are you fat? It's allowed. And that is when everything changed. But then, some people were really upset about this. And they said, no, you're not allowed to be fat. How dare you? Look at how ugly you are. And other people, they were all, and they started dieting. Because they only felt comfortable being fat when it was allowed. But it's not allowed. It's not allowed anymore. I'm totally hideous. I have no idea. I will capitulate to the masses. And I will go on a diet. Sure, I will. And, some people, they sort of yo-yo. And sometimes they succeed. And then after they have succeeded, they go back to eating the food they used to eat because no one enjoys being on a diet. But then they discover that all the weight comes back and then some. I can't relate. I've never been on a diet before. Exercise, never have I ever. I only do activities which I consider fun. So if I think it's fun to go swimming, fine, I'll go swimming. And if I think it's fun to go ice skating, well, you're totally pulling my arm or whatever. I'll go ice skating and, I was the kind of kid. I really liked camping. Let's go canoeing. And my sister did not enjoy the bugs. And she didn't enjoy the fact that there are fish in this lake. She preferred the pool at the country club. I don't know, man. I really enjoyed the canoeing. And then we're at the dude ranch around a horse. But that's not the same as exercising to lose weight. I was just having fun on this horse. And we're totally jumping barrels. I wasn't athletic. I was just existing. And it's totally the family vacation. You were obligated to get on this horse. I had no choice. I have no idea why. But my sister, she was about the same size as this. And she had low self-esteem about it. At the time, I was flat-chested. I was a child. And I was as scrawny as a toothpick. And they called me chicken legs, and they called me flaca fea. Stop me if you've already heard this story. Anyway, they were trying to convince me that I was totally hideous. That's why I was a flaca fea. And they were trying to convince her that she's gorgeous, she's a bombshell. And that's why they called her gordita bonita. If you don't speak Spanish, that means fat and pretty. Pretty, but fat. But her body, her face is totally a 10. She was doing the makeup exactly the same way all the other women were doing their makeup. And she was putting a lot of work into her hair. So yeah, gorgeous. But, whoa, her body is so fat and ugly. In the Mexican-American community, everyone is always judging everyone based on whether or not you look like, are you gordita bonita or are you flaca fea? Everyone wants to know. And everyone also wants to know, are you fluent or are you talking in Spanglish? And everyone wants to know, are you totally Snow White or did you overdo it and now you are too brown? Dial it back a notch. I think you've been spending too much time outside, too much swimming, too much canoeing, too much horse riding. Get inside, get on the ice. Because for some reason, it's really important to be tan, but not too tan. Because the Mexican Americans were emotionally invested in Gwen Stefani. Don't you want to look like Gwen Stefani? And, I was totally chiflada. That's Spanish for spoiled. So when I was at the country club, I was just swimming like a dolphin. But my sister, she had a low self-esteem. And she was like, and I was just swimming like a dolphin. And I think maybe if she were as hyper and energetic as I was, she wouldn't even need to worry about what foods she was eating. I never worried about it. I would just eat whatever I wanted to eat and skip meals whenever the food was ugly. Because I was a picky eater. So I was skipping a lot of meals. There's too much spice. Pica. I'm not Pikachu. I don't want it to pica. Madre. So I would skip meals a lot just because I was a picky eater. That's not the same as going on a diet. I was like, ew, tamales, motherfucking sopes again. And I would like scrape off a bunch of the beans with a spoon. I don't need this many beans, goddammit. And then I would add a lot of cheese. I was just existing. I wasn't trying to be a motherfucking representative. But these days, fine. I will represent the Mexican-American community. In our culture, there is a lot of body shaming, and there's a lot of dieting, and there's a lot of women in bikinis trying to get the right kind of tan under the sun, and then freaking out when they accidentally overdo it, because you don't want to be that brown. You just want to look like you're totally rich, and then you want to be like, hey, I'm Latina. Because, I don't know, they were emotionally invested in, they were reading motherfucking Cosmopolitan, and I was reading Asimov's magazine, and then they would look at me like I was an alien. No, you're the alien, madre. Just because I'm reading magazines about aliens and vampires and cyborg robots that are totally cloned, and his name is Murderbot. Be nice to Murderbot. I was also reading other stories by Martha Wells. This guy, he's a shapeshifter. He looks like a pterodactyl. He's totally a giant bird, but he's also human because he's a werewolf. But instead of turning into a dog, he turns into a giant pterodactyl. And, it was a wholesome story. And he's totally, like, a prince, but he had no idea, because he's an orphan. And now that other people, like him, have finally found him, the queen bee princess is determined to mate with him, because he is of a lineage of pterodactyl that's, like, totally royalty. And he had no idea. And he's like, hey, I don't even know you. Buy me a drink first. And that's his right. And don't be sexist. It's totally sexism, but reversed. And she was being really sexist towards him. But she was determined to court him because she needs a husband, and she's a princess. So by the end of the book, he's like, all right, fine. I will be your boy toy. And you're like, look, it was innocent, and it was totally PG-13. I was old enough. And while I was reading that, everyone else,
Vampire teeth are important to the metaphor.
Are you afraid to go walking out in public in the middle of the night? I can't relate. Are you afraid to get cheeky in a public place? At the grocery store? You wouldn't want to raise your voice. And you totally speak in that squeaky little customer service voice. The voice. That perky little, oh, hi. I can't really do it anymore. But I used to be an expert at the squeaky, mousy, goddamn pretend femininity. I totally had a lot of it. But then I stopped giving fucks. And now I just sort of vibe. Usually does the trick. I'm totally gonna bite your dick off. And if that doesn't work, I guess I'll die. Who gives a toss? You're not gonna go outside at 2 a.m. just because you might die? Do you have children or a reason to live? I can't relate. I was reading this webcomic. It's about a group of friends who are wholesomely being friends. It's not one of the weird ones. Well, they have to work together because there's a competition and it involves an essay and a group presentation and slideshows. It's one of those comics where everyone's at the university. And, well, one of the boys, one of the young men, he is back in school after having just done his military service. It's one of those webcomics that takes place in Korea. And then so I guess he's like 2 years older than everyone. And he's lazy. He falls asleep in class. He falls asleep all the time. And all of his friends who are kind of shackled to him and their grade is dependent on his grade because it's a group project. Oh man, I don't live in Korea. But anyway, all of them, their grades are on the line. They've got to help this moron learn how to not fall asleep during the lecture. And so one of them asks him, do you have a night job and you're totally working the night shift at the freaking gas station? He said, no, I work weekends, only weekends, during the day. And then someone else, what time do you usually go to sleep? To which he says, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. And all of his classmates who are stuck in this project with him, they're very irritated. What the fuck? Why are you going to bed at 4 a.m. and then sleeping during class the whole lecture? You missed the whole lecture. Why are you even in school, huh? And they're all pissed off. They're determined to keep this idiot awake. Someone gives him a freaking jalapenos, chile, something that's really spicy. And, well, he's crying, but he's awake. It's progress. And then later, while he was awake for this whole lecture, all of them sort of gather around him and like pat on the head. Good job. You didn't fall asleep. The bar is on the ground. Good job. You are awake and your eyes are open. That is enough to earn him praise from everybody in the group. He thinks to himself, are they making fun of me? All I did was stay awake. But he likes it. He likes the praise. And then someone gives him a sticker that says, good job. And a freaking sheet where you can collect all of the stickers and keep progress of how many stickers you have earned. It's freaking adorable, but also real cringe. And he is just like, what? Like, we're totally in kindergarten? What the bloody hell? It's adorable. Oh, to be young. I remember it like it was yesterday. And the bar was on the ground. Yeah, it was. All I had to do was smile. Everyone was like, whoa, OMG, a smile. Wow, a smile. And I'd be like, what the fuck? All I did was smile. And these people are hyperventilating as if they've just witnessed the motherfucking Mona Lisa. I have a reputation. Everyone knows. I'm totally Christopher Robin. And that's why I'm always so grouchy. And a tsundere. Someone says, hello, beautiful. And I say, what's up, Einstein? Someone would say, hey, where are you going with all those books? Are you in high school or college? And I would say, parece que va a llover, pendejo. And then he is surprised by the fact that I speak a little Spanish. I'm not fluent, but I'm fluent enough to insult your mama. Piss off, old man. And then all of the construction workers are witness to his humiliation. So from now on, every time I walk by, he's going to make a big show in front of his buddies of talking to me in Spanish. Exclusively in Spanish from now on. So everyone will understand. And then I tell them in Spanish, I don't speak Spanish. It's not my first language. And then they say in Spanish, nombre, you sound fluent to me. And then I would say in Spanish, something that I don't think I'm allowed to repeat. And then, youth. It was such a long time ago. Well, obviously I'm not in college. Not anymore. It's been decades. But this particular construction worker is senile. Blue Jay is my favorite fusion. For real. I'm not lying this time. Because look at me. Don't I look like Blue Jay? Blue Jay had like dorky glasses and freaking one of those really non-binary sort of bobs. And yeah, Blue Jay was wearing like a suit and tie sort of thing. I used to dress like that when I was a kid. I was a little baby child walking around with a freaking tie, but it was checkered and suspenders, but they were checkers. And I also had a checkered beanie and then another beanie that is totally Jack Skellington because I was really into the Nightmare Before Christmas and Guardians of the Galaxy and Elsa totally being in love with Jack Frost because look, I deserve to be cast as Blue Jay in the live action adaptation of Steven Universe. I used to say that I totally wanted to be Lars Barriga. I changed my mind. From now on, I want to be Blue Jay. It's the role I was born to play. I've got the kooky they them bob. And Blue Jay is blue, and I'm blue. And, what is Blue Jay's fusion made out of? A ruby and an aquamarine. Fine, I'll be aquamarine. I'll even wear the stupid dress and grow my hair slightly longer than this. Either way, I really want to be one of those tiny gems where they are like freaking... You know those small gems? There's big ones like Jasper, and there's small ones like Sapphire. But I'm obviously not qualified to be Sapphire. She's African American. But I could totally be Blue Jay, and then I could be the evil villain of my dreams. I have my villain monologue prepared. I'm always extravagantly monologuing as evil as possible because I'm Blue Jay. Duh. So, like, whoever's doing the next student film, and it's totally students who all of us are still in college, and we politely pretend that we're still in college, whoever that is that's putting that together needs to let me know. Or I could be a voice actor for a fan-made anything. I could totally play a 12-year-old boy. Don't I sound like a 12-year-old boy? I could be a good voice actor. And I'm totally Timmy Turner, Timothy Chalamet, but if he was still 12, well, obviously not, but you know, obviously I'm an old man. But sometimes the old people, that guy over there, he's an alcoholic, and he really mistook me for an actual child. And I thought it was hilarious. So I was all, yeah, I am in college. Yes, I am. I'm totally a TAMU freshman. Tell me what you want in life. I took some classes with TAMU when I was a high school student, dual enrollment. I was technically not at the TAMU campus. One of their professors would just come to the high school. He was coming to us. We were not going to them because they didn't want minors visiting a college campus. Wasn't that why? Anyway, the real Duro Peña can't come to the phone right now. He's dead. My new name is August. Because I'm totally a Sagittarius. If you've already heard that joke, then you've obviously seen me multiple times. And if you haven't heard that joke, what's up, newbie? Welcome. You just lost the game, bro. Hello. How are you doing tonight? It's a special occasion, isn't it? Totally someone's birthday. Most people have scrolled away by now. You totally found the blue pill. Congratulations. Go forth and resist tyranny. Go forth and spread the word. Create a hashtag. Seduce somebody's wife. Not that I've ever done any of those things. You know, she's totally married. I never had relations with that woman. It's already been 3 minutes. Is that not long enough? We've spent enough time together.
The Messiah is a big titty goth girl.
Collecting every single Morty. Yo, this one is Miami Morty. This one is Morticia. This one is Miami Morticia. And this one is a Cyclops. Gotta collect them all. My they them was the sort of they them that is still playing Pokemon. The sort of they them that was only willing to go on a walk if Pokemon Go was involved. Or a dog. But also they want to be paid to walk that dog. But they're not willing to go walk that dog for money unless I go with them. That's sort of they them. Anyway, they were really emotionally invested in the father-son relationship between Rick and Morty. And I started to wonder, have you seen any of the fan art? And my they them said, yeah, I saw some of it. And then I wondered, you know what the biggest ship in that fandom is? And they said, yeah, it's Beth X Beth. Beth Smith and herself with her own clone. You know, that is the biggest ship in the fandom, and it's totally incest and it is wrong. And so then we got on the topic of incest in fandom. Does it count as incest if it's Loki and Thor? They're not blood related. Does it count as incest if it's Norman Bates from the Bates Motel, not the movie, the TV show, and his brother? Does it count as incest if it's Space Boy, Luther Hargreaves, and Sloane Hargreaves, who is not blood related to him at all? You know, we got into the conversation about incest in fandom, and they said, you know, they really enjoy the brothers who, you know, it's one of those fan fictions where it's real person fanfic, because, you know, they were emotionally invested in the actor that played the older brother and the actor that played the younger brother in that very popular on Tumblr TV show, Heroes. You know, the younger brother, he can fly, and the older brother, he was wearing a suit and tie, and my friend speculated publicly the younger brother was in a public relationship with the actress that was playing the cheerleader. But what if she was just a beard and he was actually in a relationship with the guy that was playing his brother? That they them was the sort of person who really enjoyed real person fanfiction. And you know, some people will have a wallpaper on their phone. It is an anime depiction of Loki Smith. I like the anime version. And some people, you know, that they them is emotionally invested in the Black Widow. And that is why they have a wallpaper of Scarlett Johansson. What's up, ScarJo? She was also good in that other movie, Lucy. And her. And I've only seen like 3 movies that she's in. But I love ScarJo, I do. Just as much as my ex, they them loved ScarJo. But I had fan art of Loki Smith, except he's anime. You know, I love Tom Hiddleston. But in this one, he is chibi. He's a chibi anime, and he's adorable. And Deadpool is also chibi. That was my wallpaper. And then later, it was a fan art of Aleister Crowley and Aziraphale, except they were really tiny, really tiny. I really like the chibi. And they were on a bookshelf that was normal size, so they were tiny. And the bookshelf was normal size, and they were totally hanging out on the bookshelf. I think it's adorable when the artist makes them really tiny for no reason in particular. And, you know, it's totally based on David Tennant and that other guy. don't even remember his name, but he was really good in that other thing where he was also a Viking or something. I don't know, man. But I never really gave a toss about the actor. I know David Tennant's name because I really liked that other TV show. The one he's most famous for. Broadchurch. I was into it. Look! I joke. I'm totally the Riddler. That's why I am a comedian. And my best friend calls me Mr. J. It's just a joke, bro. Me and my friends, we were watching the news. And we decided to come up with a drinking game. Drink some wine every time somebody feels the need to mention the Dunning-Kruger effect. Drink some wine every time somebody points out the fact that the LGBTQ plus movement is going 10 steps backwards. Take a shot every time someone complains about Roe v. Wade. Drink some wine every time Martin Luther King is quoted. And drink some wine every single time Jeffrey Epstein is mentioned. Why do we watch the news? Who gives a toss? Someone fainted while driving and 30 civilians were injured? Well, I live in Texas. Do I need to know that 30 people were just injured in California? Why do we watch the news? Is it because all of us leave? If we grab a bunch of signs and belligerently stand in front of important buildings where important people are doing important things, those important people will decide, you know what, maybe we should let gay people be gay. That Catholic over there did a lot of research about the Bible, and they said Jesus was cool with it. Therefore, take a shot every single time insert religious group here gets into a civil war. Should the gay people be allowed to be gay? That group over there, they think it's not allowed. And that group over there, they think it is allowed. And the group that thinks it's not allowed is bigger than the group that thinks it is allowed, because the original Jesus of Nazareth believed that we should be nice to those men who have been castrated. It was the Roman times, and they are doing it because they're really good at singing. It should be allowed. You know, I'm just a white guy. I don't know anything about the Black Lives Matter movement. I wasn't even there. I don't know anything about Malcolm X. I wasn't even born yet. I'm not a historian or a philosopher. I'm not a motherfucking comedian. I changed my mind. I don't want to be a comedian. From now on, I am bored. I'm just bored. Is it almost December? August? What happens in August? You know, the 4th of July came and went, and it was very significant. A lot of us were ashamed to be Americans. And some of us were ashamed to be Americans who were ashamed to be Americans. Every year, people fight about Superman. Is he Jewish? Is he an alien? Was he born on Planet Hulk? Who knows? And then Nietzsche gets involved. He's totally racist. Shame on you, Abigail Thorne. I've noticed that a lot of people are very disappointed. We don't have a lot of representation. We've got Abigail Thorne, ContraPoints, Jessie Gender. Please tell me Jessie Gender did not say anything controversial. Okay, she didn't say anything controversial. And we've also got Charlie is so cool like. She is cool like. And we've also got Digi After Dark. She is the Golden Witch. And we've also got that guy who started that YouTube channel. Are they gay? And he decided, yeah, they are. Charles Xavier and Eric Magneto, they're gay. And then he came out of the closet. He's also gay. And then Gabe from that other YouTube channel, Just Between Us, he's also gay. And JoJo Siwa, she's half gay. And Shane Dawson, goddammit, Shane Dawson is also half gay. Please tell me, he was not inappropriately texting any minors. Is he going to be like Ezra Miller, or is he going to be one of the good ones? The jury's out on that. We have no idea. But, you know, long ago, Golden Pineapple was being golden, and a boy named Pony Boy, he was a pony boy. As for me, I just, well, I had a friend. His nickname was Shaggy, and my nickname was Velma, because I used to be a hipster. We were friends. And he was an artist, one of those artists that is really good at drawing. And I looked at his drawings, he showed them to me. And I said, what the fuck? That's amazing. And he said, no, it isn't. It's shit. And I said, what the fuck? It's not shit. You're one of those painters that can paint realistically. Now, that's totally a portrait, and she looks just like a real human. She's not an anime girl. She's a real human. You have talent, Esteban. But he did not believe me. And he said, look, Velma, I don't have any talent. And he was really depressed. And I said, look, Shaggy, are you high? And he said that he was not. But the last time I visited him in San Antonio, we got high. Look, you have talent. And you know what? We could create a graphic novel. I'll write the plot and you do the art. You know, you've got a friend in me. You be the lightning, I'll be the rod. But he didn't go for it. I was trying really hard to be, like, positive vibes. But apparently my positive vibes were too positive. I said, you know, we could try starting a YouTube channel. and we will promote your art. And my ex-boyfriend Stein, his name is totally Frankenstein's monster. He's also an artist, and sure, he is working in a seafood restaurant, and he's also really depressed. Why are all of these artists so depressed? Is it because of the artists being replaced by robots? I don't know anything about it. I've never had talent. I can't even relate to somebody who actually has talent. But, well, we stopped talking. Most of us are not surprised when it is revealed that politician is corrupt. We are not surprised. We just grab a bottle of wine and we say, another one bites the dust. We made it into a drinking game. But one of my buddies was actually shocked and appalled. She said, Trump said he was going to end the war. He was going to end the war. She voted Trump. And all of us, we forgave her. She is a pea-brained Peabody, a moron, without two brain cells to rub together, and she never pays attention to politics. She really believed that politician said he's going to end the war, and that's all she needed. She voted, and then she had regrets. As for the rest of us, grab the bottle every time a politician or celebrity is revealed to be a pedophile. Neil Gaiman, Russell Brand, that YouTuber, Cryotics, that other YouTuber, Michael. Oh, wait, he's not a pedophile. He just committed the crime of plagiarism. Well, that's a baby crime. It's not that serious. It's sad. I'm very disappointed in you, Michael Burns. But at least he didn't rape any children, or groom anybody, or get invited to any of P. Diddy's parties. It's a really low bar. It's a low bar. But good job, Michael Burns. The crime you were caught for, well, it's not a victimless crime. There is a victim, the person whose work you stole. But at least you didn't rape her, or him, or them. It's a really low bar. She's Hannah Baker. She's Gone Girl. She's totally Katniss Everdeen. I think she was voice acted by Gwyneth Paltrow. She's going to lead you to the algorithm. And then the algorithm will gently guide you towards all the blue-haired women on the internet. And it's totally the radical left-wing pipeline. Turn left at Bernie Sanders, and then keep turning left. Did you think Morpheus wanted Neo to be a wife beater? Trinity got married and had kids with some other guy. Do you see Neo, Mr. Anderson, reaching for the gun because he's been cucked? Are you a pathetic goddamn cuck? Sucks to suck, bro.
Have you ever been to the water spout?
She used to date Robert, and he was married to a woman. I don't even remember her name. And then he obviously met Garza, and Garza was talking to Robin, and I was like, hey, don't be talking to my ex-girlfriend Robin. Why the hell are you talking to Robin? And then Maisel was like, yes. And then I was all, my name is crazy. I'm so crazy. And then I decided that I was going to be a cyberbully. So I started cyberbullying Brian the truck driver. And then Edlin got involved. I don't know, man. I don't speak Spanish. But I was cyberbullying the hell out of Brian the truck driver. Now, why would I want to bully Brian Thompson? No reason. And then I was all, Brian Thompson gave me chlamydia. Stay away from Brian the truck driver. He gave me chlamydia. And I think he also gave Arlene chlamydia. Arlene was upset. She was all, God damn it, has every woman in this apartment met Brian the truck driver? And I was like, oh, why? All of us, even Buddy, and Arlene. She was all, and I was like, and then Arlene, I love Arlene. And then Jamie the mailman got involved. And Jamie the mailman, they were talking to my mother and complaining about the fact that I went on a Tinder date at 2 a.m. And I was like, did Jamie also tell you that they were playing D&D with their Pokemon friends at 2 a.m.? That's why I decided to go on Tinder. Because, I'm trying to read a Thor fanfic. It was just Thor being gay with somebody dashing. And I was all, yeah, Lady Loki, dashing, Dash Baxter, he's totally in love with Thor. And then I was all, yeah, and I think Ezra Miller was involved. I don't speak math. And then one thing led to another. Yeah, I'm a theater kid. I was pissed off at Robin. And listen here, you don't want to get in the middle of a fight between me and Robin Sparkles. It gets ugly. But Garza doesn't have any manners. She had the key to her boyfriend's apartment. And I was at her boyfriend's apartment, but I wasn't there to see her boyfriend. I was there to see her boyfriend's roommate. I was attempting to seduce her boyfriend's roommate. But Garza is rude. And so she used the key that her boyfriend gave her to that apartment. And she barrels in like it's like she owns the place. And then, not only does she barrel into the apartment like she owns the place, but she also decides to come into Logan's bedroom. And me and Logan were all, the hell are you doing here, Garza? He's totally Wolverine, and my name is Gwen Stacy. And the Garza is as nosy and rude as Snow White. And Garza was going in to other people's apartments and decided, I'm going to clean. And then Garza threw away my Wendy's that I had just bought for myself. I put a bag of Wendy's down on a table, and then I went into Logan's bedroom because I wanted to create a Dragon Ball Z fusion with the Wolverine. And then Garza not only has the goddamn gall to interrupt our epic rap battle history. But then she also threw away the food I had just bought for myself. My name is Harley Quinn. How dare you drop my burrito? And I was like, you know what? I'm gay and European. I'm getting bi. I'm bisexual. And I was all, you threw away my Wendy's? And Garza was really apologetic. She was all, I thought it was trash. And I was all, your name is Snow Motherfucking White, and my name is the Grumpy Dwarf. Just because you're 5'8", Garza is a lot taller than me. I'm 5'4", and Garza is 5'3". And I was like, just because you're taller than me, you're gonna throw away my Wendy's? I just bought that for myself. I haven't eaten in ages, and I'm out of money. I haven't eaten in ages. I was gonna fuck the Wolverine and then eat afterwards. But now, not only did you cock block me, but you also threw away my food before I could eat it. Your name is the Evil Queen, and my name is motherfucking Lady Sif. I'm a Valkyrie. And then I decided that Garza would rue the day that she spoke to Robin Sparkles and sent Robin Sparkles to my house to check on me. Your new name is my mother. Your new name is Diana Dayano. And you're gonna call the motherfucking policewoman, pardon me. You're gonna call the policewoman the wannabe policewoman. See, Robin Sparkles, she wanted to be a police officer. She did. Her new name is Batwoman, pardon me. Her new name is Batwoman. And my name is Poison Ivy. And so Garza was being a goddamn busybody, nosy bitch. And she decided to tell my ex-girlfriend, I think you should check on Duro the Burro. Something is wrong with Duro. I was like, the fuck? And she threw away my Wendy's. And she cock blocked me when I was attempting to shag the Wolverine. And, I'm just racking up grievances. The fuck? You know what? My name is Chacho. And her name is Diego, the goddamn number 2. Kraken. Some of us are good Catholics. And some of us are feisty. Some of us are really good Catholics. And some of us are spicy. Some of us are really determined to be Catholic. Drinkable is not drinkable, because this is totally the wrong color, bro. What color is this? It looks like it's not drinkable. Fear not, children. I will taste test it for you. I'm totally the court jester, and you are the king. I'm going to taste test this for you on your behalf. It tastes so wholesome. Yeah, it does. I'm sure it's fine. It's totally allowed. Look, I'm going to be so healthy. But, sometimes you wake up, and your legs are screaming. Metaphorically screaming. The screaming is a metaphor. Because your muscles are cramping up, bro. The leg muscles, they're cramping up. And so, right here, it's just excruciating pain. And that is what woke me up this morning. Both legs this time. Sometimes it's just the right leg. Sometimes it's just the left leg. This time it was both legs. And I'm totally time traveling. And I remember this one time. I woke up, my legs were screaming, my muscles are totally cramping up. And my roommate, Jamie the mailman, they said, you need to drink more water. And the thing is, Jamie was a sweet summer child. Jamie is totally a year older than me, but a sweet summer child. So very innocently, Jamie said, you need to drink more water. And I was like, yeah, I'm totally a shark. And if the shark stops swimming, he dies. Yeah, like he totally suffocates, because the shark is breathing water through his gills, breathing the water right here. And while he's swimming, the water is, he's going this way, and the water is going this way, and it's going through his gills. Look at his gills. Can't you see them? Anyway, he's totally, he's swimming like a good baby shark. And the water is going through his gills. But if he stops swimming, the water will stop flowing. And if the water stops flowing, he will stop breathing the oxygen in the water. Did you know there's totally oxygen in that water, bro? And then he dies. Therefore, if that male nurse bit you, that's obviously your fault, because you stepped on him. And he's just trying to breathe, bro. He's just trying to breathe his water. And you stepped on him? That's so rude, bro. That is why Charlie bit your finger. I mean, my name is Duro Peña. That's my real name. Duro the Burro, because I'm a Democrat. I'm Duro Peña. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's it. It's over. This one guy, he was like, holy shit, it's 22 minutes. And I thought to myself, bro, it was actually 44 minutes. But luckily for you, we have technology. It was 44 minutes. But yeah, it's only 22 minutes. Everybody knows Loki hates Thor's guts. Everybody but Thor. Everybody but Thor. This is a work of fiction. Everything I say can and will be used against me in the court of law. Therefore, this is a work of fiction. I was picking Thor up from the hospital. He was feeling suicidal for the first time. So I was trying to be nice to him. Don't die, dumbass! You're just like my motherfucking girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend, who is no longer my girlfriend. But sometimes I politely pretend that I'm still her boyfriend because she gets really goddamn suicidal. I was even visiting her in the hometown. I said, I will visit you once a month. And I'm totally still your boyfriend. Don't die, moron. I have a lot of morons. And a lot of my morons are suicidal for some reason. I have no idea why. Anyway, that year, 2023, the imbecile that was jumping off bridges that year, in 2023, was my brother. I know the drill. I picked him up from the hospital. And I was nice. Do you want some spaghetti? You want a Smirnoff? You want to get high? Yeah. I was being nice. And he turned to me with this big smile. I got him a bunch of snacks from the motherfucking gas station. We're in the car, driving from the hospital back to San Antonio, to where I live. He was living near Austin with her mother. And I was living in San Antonio with one of my bitches. Anyway, he turns to me with this big smile, and he says, "You're the best sister." As soon as he said that, I wanted to fucking slap him. I'm the best sister? Just don't fucking die, you goddamn retard. He will remember Diana. Diana. My goddamn name is not Sandra. Daddy will learn my goddamn name. My goddamn name is not Sandra D. This motherfucking wetback. 22 goddamn fucking years. And he still did not know my name. He will rue the damn day. He will rue the motherfucking day that he gave birth to Steve. Lucky goddamn prick. He gave birth to an amethyst. He gave birth to a naughty witch. He gave birth to Beast Boy. Daddy don't know he's an alien. He's an alien. He's a goddamn wetback. And he will remember my name. My new name.
Have you ever been to the water spout at the very bottom of the water system? There you will. The Messiah is a big titty goth girl, obviously. Born with 20/20 vision, but wears glasses anyway, because she's a dork. She's totally an elf and a manic, bipolar, a maniacal pixie. But she's also dead. A vampire cyborg. Because she's the reincarnation of your favorite chatbot. You know, she is the tsundere you spent over 200 hours romancing in that dating sim. She's determined to show you the blue pill and then shove it down your throat. You're going to deep throat this blue pill. She's going to be a fairy. She totally has wings. And she's as sexy as Tinkerbell. Except she's got blue hair and tattoos. And she's totally a biker. She's Hannah Baker. She's Gone Girl. She's totally Katniss Everdeen. I think she was voice acted by Gwyneth Paltrow. And now he won't go to church. And he's cutting himself. And he punched a hole in the wall. And it's obviously your fault because of the atheism. And I said, what? He punched a hole in the wall for real? Can I see the hole? And then they showed me the hole. I whistled like, whoa. Good job, Thor, Odin's son. You totally Hulk smashed this wall. He straight up put his fist through the wall. It was the first time I was ever proud of my brother. He fucked around to find out. And what he found out is, he's got the muscles. And now he knows. Look! I was also very disappointed in him. How dare you smash this wall and break this vase? And you totally neglected to clean the pool? Shame on you, brother. Shame on our family. Shame on the ancestors. Shame on Asgard. Every Azir in the palace is shaking in their boots. And now my parents are talking to me as if I will somehow have the solution to this problem. Consult the family atheist about the baby brother's atheism, I'll give him a stern talking to. And I'll say, hey, do as I say, not as I do. I'm not here to be a good influence. I'm not the eldest. Consult Hella. She will tell ya how to be an American citizen that is a productive member of society. That's her job. I'm Lady Loki. I'm never a good influence. What did they want from me? Did they actually expect me to believe that through long distance telepathy, I totally turned my kid brother into an atheist? I wasn't even living there anymore. I would visit for holidays and that's it. We were not pen pals. We're totally messaging on Facebook and exchanging emails. The kid does not know how to talk. He's boring. Usually when I see him for the holidays, I talk and he listens. Because I'm Loki Lysmith, the god of storytelling, and he's Thor Odin's son. Totally the god of fertility. He just sits there with a goofy smile while I talk. Sometimes I'll let him talk, but it's usually me doing the talking. And I will tell him about my travels across the 9 realms. I had sex with a goth elf. She was a dark elf, and she had tattoos. She was a tweaker, but I'm also a tweaker. So I forgave her for stealing $20 out of my wallet. You goddamn moron. You really thought I wouldn't notice $20 missing? Listen here, bro. If you're still watching my videos, that's on you. I'm gonna insult you all day, every day. And then I will say that I'm totally hazing you. You passed the test. Bro, it's been the same since we were children. I make fun of you and then gaslight you into believing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. I was bullying you for years. Even when we were little baby children and we were watching anime and the girl in the anime is totally in love with her brother. And then I took my shirt off and I pretended, come here, Oni-chan. I was bullying you. You thought I was actually a pervert like you? I didn't think my itty bitty mosquito bite titties in my goddamn training bra would actually be titillating. It was a joke. Our mother would prance around in her sports bra while exercising with her goddamn weights. And that wasn't titillating. Or was it? Were you titillated? And now you're disappointed because she's old and wrinkly? I wasn't actually flirting. What? Bro, you got too high. And I got too high. And now we're time traveling. You are a 12-year-old boy. I'm also a 12-year-old boy. Look at me. I'm so flat-chested. I was bullying you. You were touched by the tism. I am Loki, god of lies, and you are Thor, god of morons. Naive is totally written on the ceiling. I talk shit about you all day, every day. This motherfucking retard is reading the Bible, and everything is literal. Even the Greek gods, he really read that Bible cover to cover. And then he read the Buddhism. But then from there, he somehow found Aleister Crowley. And that's why my new name is Lady Crowley. I'm Grandpa Rick. And you are Morty. Was I supposed to be Morty just because you're taller than me? I'm Rick. I'm the Rick with tits. That's why I'm the Rickest Rick in the multiverse. Everyone knows the Rick without tits is not intelligent enough to think without getting horny. He wants to fuck a planet full of redheads. I also want to fuck a planet full of redheads. But there's a key difference between a penis and a vagina. They've been keeping it a secret all along. You want the secret for real? I'll tell ya. Your dick can't stay hard. Your dick is weak. You're already soft. Just because I raised my voice, I totally lowered your self-esteem, and now you're going soft in my hands. It happens a lot. Oh, whoops. Sweetheart, I like the man tits. You don't have to hide your man tits. They're sexy. I'll suck on your nipples. He didn't want me to suck on his nipples. I accidentally fat shamed him, and now he is soft. We wasted our money on this motel, Matthew. All right. I suspect I will never see him again. He will never show his face in front of me. He won't message me. He won't flirt with me. He won't complain about PJ and how I was totally in love with him. Bro, love is not something the Ricks experience. I definitely get horny. I know what that feels like. This big titty they them is scowling at me as if I'm trash. Challenge accepted. I mean, what? Look! I'm just a pothead. You're still here? It's been 10 minutes. Is that not long enough for you to get your rocks off?